Hey guys, welcome to what is likely to be the final episode of Bionic Commando Rearmed? Famous last words. Except that they actually wouldn't be famous last words. They would be famous not last words, even though I thought they'd be the last words if it turns out we don't finish in this video. But anyway, we're, wait, where are we going? That led to the, yeah, that layer led to, excuse me, the, to death. That led to the, crazy, Woppet that doesn't even appear in the game. I guess it's a prototype weapon that you show you earned for, I don't know, cool points. Oh, that doesn't very good. That wasn't very good. Oh, come on, just slow down and freaking figure this shit out here. No, I ducked. Oh, come on, I ducked. At least have a new legal starting point. Little baby taps that the lasers seem to be for these guys. Oh, they're gonna make me use my ultimate knowledge here of how to fail that jump. Almost shot that at myself, actually. Gotta be it, right? Yeah, see, that's like the reactor. That's the reactor core that would showing up as the boss of like every level. So we're done. Probably don't even have to fight Master D. It's gotta be over. Hey! What's happening down there? Did you kill the leader? What's that? Whoa! Hey! I've been killed! Oh, he just yelled, "Hey!" and I talked over it. They really want this to be a like, this game is so fucking emo. Hey. I'm not gonna make it. Take the bazooka upgrade. Only you can stop the leader. He's Hitler. He's leaving in the helicopter. Use the remote missile and blow him away. Dots. Hey Spencer, it's been a pleasure working with you. You too, Haley. You. Spencer, if I was dying dramatically and I was made of cheese, would you mourn me? Listen, Haley, I'm going to kill the one who did this to you, and when I do, he's going to be dead, and his head's going to explode really dramatically. I'll make it hurt. Use that button to steer the rocket. Did they cut the screen that I remember being so hard? Or is it still to come? Okay. Oh. Okay, it's the right stick. Boy, you let me walk a long way over here without it being meaningful, huh? No secret over there? I think they might have cut the screen. I forgot it. I was talking about it was just one really hard screen. I think they got feedback it was too hard. Because it was pretty hard. But I was looking forward to challenging it again. It looks like it's just gone. Wow. I wouldn't have cut the video. They just cut the screen that I remember being really hard. Your number's up, monster, but JG wants to talk for a minute. No, there was this out... So the whole point of the Albatross is this big flying fortress, right? Which is a great concept for, like, your action fantasy games. But in reality, it's, like, not... I mean... Flying machines are expensive and difficult to run, and they break down and malfunction on their own without enemy action, and it's like... Your giant flying, like, you know... aircraft carrier from, like, Avengers or whatever. It's just like, no, what does the enemy do? They just attack it with conventional fighters and fuck up one engine, and suddenly the thing is spinning out of control and crashing. But this game had a scene after you do the electrical stuff and the pistons and the gas, then you do some other stuff, and then there's a screen, probably right after what we just cleared, but right before you get here, where you're swinging around on the outside of the Albatross, and there's lots of those little floors that open and close, and they're all over the place, and you're swinging around. Like, it's tough to describe, except that you're swinging from one hand hold, and then you're swinging out to floors that are opening and closing, and it's kind of like a Mega Man reappearing, disappearing blocks puzzle, but with Bionic Commando physics, which make all movement more complicated. It was really challenging, but also kind of fun. Like, I was looking forward to taking it on in the you don't have to play through the whole stage to get to it again rules, because it was pretty frustrating to have to keep playing through the first half of the stage to get to it, because it's a really hard screen. I'm going to have to look this shit up now. This is definitely a real thing that was in the game. I did not dream this, but it looks like it has been removed from later releases, because, wow. And now that I'm talking about this, I think I even remember having watched a speedrun of Bionic Commando a couple years ago, and hearing the couch commentary guy talk about how there was a very challenging screen that's been removed, which makes the speedrun easier. Because this kind of sucks. That was a thing I was looking forward to, for sure. But anyway, I'm going to blame Master D for removing it, so your number's up, monster. Flight of Angels and Demons. It's Fabricator rules again. Oh. Yeah, but you're... Yeah, it's an interesting challenge. You got to use both buttons at once. The only thing that can hit him is the remote control missile. But you've got to be... Well, there's Haley dead again. That's fun to revisit. Oh, they make you go through this again? Okay. I guess in case you were not getting that this is the weapon you need. So this is a decently challenging final boss fight, although I really didn't find it as bad as the Fabricator once you figure out what you have to do. But it's basically a combination of the Fabricator plus using a new weapon. But no, that screen that's missing was like a highlight of the game for me. Like, of the new content they added, it was by far the neatest thing, I thought. I just messed this up a lot. I. There we go. And they remembered the famously gruesome head explosion of Master D. So credit for credit's due there. Yeah, wow, it feels really empty to win this game without that. Maybe it's on the maybe it exists on a higher difficulty. I'm not playing through the game again to find that out, but wow. Spencer, I've destroyed the main reactor. The Albatross is going to crash. We need to evacuate. Go down and find the emergency exit. I'll wait for you there. Move it. Okay. I don't know why I did that, but... Oh, this might be familiar to players of the NES version. But we don't have the guy that normally is just there to distract you. So, what's going to happen in this version? Spencer! Mr. Spencer! Gluder, you're still alive? Yes, Mr. Spencer. You see, you cannot kill me. I'm in the sequel. I will never stop, don't you? Realize I'm your relentless shadow, your ultimate defeat. I don't have time for this, Gluder. I'll put you down for good. Never. You will join me. In hell. But in fact, you're not supposed to fight him. I don't think you are. Like, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have time to beat him. Because my time is almost out, and I did the thing that you're supposed to do, which is run past. I'm pretty sure it would be mathematically impossible to defeat him in the time you have. Hey, check it out. We're not pixel art at all. This is Spencer. Mission accomplished. I have Joe returning to base. Joe and I will be friends forever. He will never betray me in any way. It was over. The Imperial threat had been thwarted, and oh shit. As the nation celebrated the victory, I felt as if a new era had dawned. This is where the story ends. A story I hope will be passed down for a long time. The story of how there was one screen in this game that was really hard, so they took it out. As opposed to just, like, making it easier or something. Super Joe Gibson, 11/17/2039. Ben Judd, did a pretty good job overall, although he was Capcom Japan. It really felt like this was inspired by the English version. Maybe the localizers really took inspiration from some of the weird localizations. Jorgen Vankastar was in this game, or was involved. Yeah, there's a lot of weird little changes, like they got rid of the game's many midget enemies and mostly replaced them with droids. They invented a gun that does more damage to robots and as opposed to damage to humans. Like, there were little gameplay tweaks, but there was a lot of the they had game voice actors who didn't use their real names, which is a real throwback to the old days. Yeah, but they really were very faithful to a lot of aspects of the game. But I'm acting like, wow, they're really faithful. No, it was a remake. It was called Bionic Commando Rearmed. It was supposed to be a remake, and in a sense, they were less faithful than they should have been. I mean, they added secrets to levels, that's fine. But more or less, they followed the maps of the levels faithfully. And with that, I think it's with that one screen, like the exterior scaling the Albatross screen, which had a lot of the spirit of, like, the Albatross boss fight in the NES version was a bit of a movement puzzle. This thing's moving back and forth, and it's difficult to climb up to the top, but you have to climb up to the top to do damage. But, like, there's a way to get up there and just really just, like... Because I think it's designed so that you're constantly having to go up there and then get knocked back down, have to go back up and get knocked down. But there's a way to get up there and secure yourself and just, like, beat the boss almost immediately. in the Nintendo version. That external scaling screen was like, it really did kind of feel like it was inspired by the like scrambling up to the top and trying not to slip off and fall. But they cut it out. And that stage felt, playing it on Xbox 360, where I think it really was like, it really did feel like they've tweaked the difficulty and made it so that you have all the continues you want from the last area, like the last legal standing area. You just infinitely continue from there. I feel like the Xbox 360 version was more like the NES version, and I think the Xbox 360 version and the PS3 version were the same. I think it's just they've tweaked it since it first came out and I first played it. I really do kind of feel like in the original release of this game, you would game over and go back to the beginning of a stage after a certain number of losses, which was the NES rules. And that's why it made the Albatross stage was harder than the rest of the game put together, because it was long and there was some really nasty stuff in that one screen. But instead of tweaking it, or even keeping it with the you can continue as many times as you want from the middle of the stage, which is I was looking forward to experiencing the screen that way, it's like, no, this is gone. I'm really wondering if there's a way to go back and play that now. But, oh, I didn't even advance over a screen to see. So we didn't see how many overall secrets they got. We just... Oh, this whole thing was a bit of a mess, to tell you the truth. It was supposed to be played together with Zerfall. The whole reason I wasn't sure if we should play it was the screen that apparently isn't even in the game. I know it was a real thing. I did not dream it up. But yeah, what a weird experience this has been. Now, there is a Bionic Commando Rearmed 2, which I'm actually really curious about, because Bionic Commando Rearmed was kind of made to hype up Bionic Commando for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 as like a modern 3D, over-the-shoulder, first-person action game, which didn't really do that well, and I had a lot of problems with. Now, there's things about it I liked, but I definitely had a lot of problems with it, trying to get all serious and Metal Gear-y in tone. But I feel like after that, they came out with Bionic Commando Rearmed 2. I wondered, like, the people at Grin just had more fun remaking Bionic Commando than they had making, you know, the modern-day gritty version. So I'm curious about Bionic Commando Rearmed 2, and let me know if you want to see me play it, because I've got the, like, Classic Games Sony subscription service, which means even though it's hard for me to think of it as a classic game, because it's, like, probably, I don't know, it's certainly less than 10 years old, I guess, but it's, it exists, and I'm curious if it's set before or after. It has to be set before Bionic Commando, the game where you just, like, I think you die at the end, if I remember right. And the guy who talks like Raiden activates the Vulture Army after Super Joe is murdered, because Super Joe's an evil traitor. So, like, I'm curious if Bionic Commando Rearmed 2 just ignores all concept of story, because it really, the Bionic Commando sequel really messes up any happy, upbeat, goofy story Bionic Commando has. And Bionic Commando does have a happy, goofy, upbeat story, even though it's about killing Hitler, because it's about killing Hitler in a pretty goofy way. The other thing, and you know, I'm not going to try to... Bobo had a great ending that he figured out for his Bionic Commando for the NES play, where he got the, like, twinkly piano music version of the Bionic Commando theme from Bionic Commando 2009 and segued into it. I haven't put that much effort into it. Should have thought about that. It's like an homage. But I will say, like, Hal, the helicopter pilot dying, yeah, there's a character who dies dramatically at the end of Bionic Commando, and they give you the bazooka, and like, it's a poorly translated thing with, like, I'm dying, I need to give you this weapon, good luck. Ah. I don't know why they had to make it the helicopter pilot who's been your friend through thick and thin, and maybe even has the hots for you. Like, they kind of hinted at that. I don't know. There's some little things they didn't need to change. But overall, I thought that was a pretty fun gaming experience, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. This has been a little stopgap thing to give me a little time to get some Nobunaga's Ambition recorded. So for people who are, like, showing up on Saturdays and Sundays and going, what the hell? And you still haven't figured out by now this isn't Nobunaga's Ambition, I'll tell you one more time, it's not Nobunaga's Ambition. But Nobunaga's Ambition will be coming back next weekend. And maybe Bionic Commando Rearmed 2 will come at some point if people express an interest. Let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in seeing it. Remember to avoid Generalissimo killed. the shouty dictator of whatever the evil country in this game is called. Bye for now.